are you guys doing this morning? I like the energy. I like it. Well, I'm here obviously on behalf of the Saskatchewan Roughriders as an alum, and of course the Canadian Red Cross. And we're going to talk about imagining no bullying, but not just bullying. We're going to talk about healthy relationships and what they look like. But before I get into my presentation, you guys have any questions you want to ask me? I'm an open book about football, about life, anything. You guys curious about anything? Yeah. Did I get any tackles? Yeah, I've made a few tackles in my career. I've made a few tackles. Yeah. How did the Grey Cup feel? Yeah, really good question. The Grey Cup actually felt amazing. I mean, we played to win the championship game. That's why you play the sport. What's really special about the Grey Cup, though, is I'm from Winnipeg. You guys know where Winnipeg is? Yeah. Right. So I grew up in Winnipeg. I was born and raised in Winnipeg. And I won the Grey Cup in the year 2015 with the Edmonton Eskimos. But what was really special is the Grey Cup that year was actually played in Winnipeg. So I got to win the championship game in front of all my friends and family. I remember warming up to the game and looking in the stands and seeing old teachers and old classmates waving to me. So that was really special. That's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. Yeah. What's my favorite part about playing football? You know what? Probably the locker room, the teammates. Now that I'm retired, I retired coming up a full year in April. It'll be a full year of being retired. And a lot of people I come into contact with, they ask me, do you miss it? Do you miss the game? What do you miss most? And you know what? I tell people, I don't miss the game of football at all. I've played football for the past 17 years of my life, 9 years professionally, and I don't miss smacking my body into another human being's body. That's not what I miss. What I miss, and when I reflect back on my career, I miss the locker room, the relationships, the jokes that we would have, the fun that we would have. That's the memories that really stand out the most, and that I'm going to miss the most. How much did the rings cost? Well, when you win, they're free, but I think they cost a little bit of money. Have I ever been bullied? Yeah, I've been bullied in certain ways, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the presentation, about my role in bullying situations. Nope. He asked if the Grey Cup is the only championship I've won. The Grey Cup on my hand is the silver ring. That's the Grey Cup ring that I won. The gold ring is I went to the University of Manitoba. That's where I played my college football. And in 2007, we actually won the national championship for Canadian college football. They call it the Vanier Cup. So I've been very fortunate to win on a couple different stages of football. If I didn't play football, what sport would I play? Well, my first true love is basketball. But I wasn't tall enough and I was a little too big for basketball. And I found I liked to hit people because I couldn't get in trouble for it. I wouldn't foul out of the game. And I was fouling out of basketball games too often, spending more time on the bench than the court. Where football, that's not the case. So football is natural for me. Yeah. Why do I look like the locker? Why do I like it? Well, like I said, the relationships. Life is all about relationships. Be it the friendships you have, be it the people you come into contact with, and the relationships that I developed in the locker room. Like I said, that's what really holds true in my heart that I'm going to remember forever. I don't remember all the football plays that I've had, but I remember the times we would crack jokes on each other, the times we would tease each other, the times we would have fun with each other. And that's what life is about. It's all about building those strong relationships, because the reality is, everything can go. Football goes, money goes, houses go, the car goes, but the relationships we have are the one thing that stays constant, guys. Yeah. What was my favorite team? Well, of course, the Saskatchewan Roughrider. Of course. Yeah. How many times have I hurt myself? I've been hurt. I've had 3 surgeries in my life, so 3 significant times I've hurt myself. Other than that, just scrapes and bruises. Yeah. I started playing football when I was 13 years old. That was my first year playing football. I retired last year when I was 30. So the the past 17 years of my life have been nothing but football, so it's kind of nice to take a break for a minute. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the year 2017. I was a defensive lineman. You guys know what the quarterback is? Yeah. My job was to hit the quarterback.
I used to play football when I was a kid.
You what?
I used to play football when I was a kid.
Oh, nice. Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you. 2 more questions. Yeah, buddy. Do I think of going back in it? No, I'm at a point in my life, you can't play football forever. As honestly, guys, the career average for football is only 3.5 years. That's the career pro average for NFL and CFL. So I feel very fortunate the fact that I was able to get 9 years out of it. And you can't play forever. So I moved on into a new phase of my life, and I'm not really looking back at all. Last question. That's a nice way to end it. I like it. Well, honestly, guys, I'm living proof that your dreams really can come true. I'm sure you've heard your parents say it, your teachers say it, have a dream and you can achieve it. I'm living proof standing in front of you guys that you truly can. I was just a kid from Winnipeg who was very passionate and had a dream about being a pro athlete. And I accomplished that dream. But, with that being said, you have to be willing to work to achieve that dream. I tell so many people, you can dream of being a doctor, but if you're not willing to go to medical school, it's going to be hard to be a doctor. So we all truly can have a dream and accomplish it, but you need to be willing to put the work in, because that's how dreams really do come true. It's not just something that shows up one day and you've made it. You got to put the work, you got to put the sacrifice and the dedication in to being whatever you want to be. But you guys really can. So, appreciate the feedback and the questions, guys. So we're going to talk about imagining no bullying. We all need supportive friendships. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. I would agree. It's good to hear that we're all on the same page. So we're going to do a little activity called the see, hear, and feel test. So I want you guys to close your eyes and just imagine a group of 4 or 5 friends hanging out, having a good time. What are some things that we might see out of this group of friends that are having a good time, engaging in a healthy relationship? What might we see? You would see high fives, absolutely. You'd see them joking around. Probably would hear the joking, but you might see smiles, right? You would see the smiles. Yeah, you would see them playing, absolutely. What else would we see? Giggling, again, probably you'd hear giggling, but you would see the smiles. Again, you would hear them talking to each other. You would see their mouths moving, though. You would see that they're communicating.
You see that they're like friends with each other.
Again, probably would hear that. But I agree with where you're going. We'll be talking about that next. Yeah. You'd see the park, probably where they're playing. Last one, yeah. You would see them being kind. You would see them sharing. You would probably see them all included. You would see them all engaged. Probably you would see good body language. So that's all really good, guys. Those are things we would see. Close your eyes. Picture that same group of friends having a healthy relationship, a good time. Now, what are some things we hear? I heard the laughter. I heard the teasing. What else might we hear? Giggling, for sure. Yeah. Because they're playing, right? You would hear things happening. You would hear the chain links on the swing. You would hear these things. How about you? What would you hear? Yeah, you would hear them talking, communicating. Absolutely. Maybe you would hear encouraging words, positive words. You would hear these things. You guys like to tease each other? Yeah, you should. Teasing is a good thing. Teasing is a natural, healthy thing. But there are things we should not say. There are things we can say. There's boundaries. There's lines that we cannot cross when we're teasing. I talked about the locker room and how much those memories stand out to me. Like I said, I don't miss the game of football between the lines. I miss the teasing, the jokes. Guys, in the locker room, we would crack jokes on each other to the point where we're literally rolling around the floor laughing. Those memories that I'm going to remember forever. So we talked about the things we see, the things we hear. Now you as an outsider watching this, how does that make you feel? Yeah.
Heartwarming.
Heartwarming. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. You're laughing, you probably feel happy. How about you, bud? Go ahead. It makes you feel happy. That's good. Absolutely, it makes you happy. It makes you probably feel loved, right? You probably would feel loved. Welcome, maybe. Or it may make you feel sad because you want to be involved with them. You want to be playing with them. How about the word safe? Would it make you feel safe? Probably would make you feel safe. And we need to understand that we all have a right to feel safe and to be in a safe place. We have this right because each and every one of us is human. That's a right that we have, is to be in a safe place. You guys probably have been through many different presentations, I'm sure, at this point in your life. Normally, if you think back to some of the other presentations you've been a part of, normally the presenter gets you to ask the questions at the end, right? That's normally how it works. You guys notice how I had you guys ask me questions at the beginning? Any of you why? Yeah.
Because it makes you feel more welcome.
Ooh, man, you should be able to do this. That's exactly why. You guys all know each other. You guys all have established relationships. I'm an outsider coming into your environment. And I don't know if you guys have ever been at the front of a room giving a presentation, but it can be a little bit scary. It can make you feel a little bit nervous inside. So what I want to do to feel safe is I want to build some sort of relationship, build some sort of connection where you guys can get to know me a little bit. So we can establish a relationship so I can come into your atmosphere and feel welcome. So I can come into your atmosphere where you guys know each other and I can feel safe. And that's why I do that. You guys have done a great job of welcoming me and making me feel safe. So we're going to talk about healthy relationships. And there's a list of different words up here that are components of what a healthy relationship looks like. The first word up there is respect. And respect is very important to me. That's my personal opinion. I feel strongly about respect. What does respect mean to you guys? What is the word respect? I want some of the older kids too. I got down here really participating. And if you don't want to participate, that's okay, because I can call on you and then with the pressure. So that's okay. Yeah. Being kind, absolutely. Anyone in the back? What does respect mean to you guys? I'm sure you have an opinion. Not constantly arguing, absolutely. Listening when someone has an opinion. Don't have to agree with it, but you should respect it. Yeah. Respecting someone's privacy? Absolutely. What would that look like? Maybe not intruding on their privacy, let them have their space? Absolutely. Not going behind their back? Absolutely. So you see, we all have these different opinions on what respect looks like. And you know what? It actually is, you can throw everything out the window and it's as simple as this. You guys ever hear of the golden rule? When I was growing up, everybody said the golden rule, live by the golden rule. And honestly, all it is treat people how you want to be treated. That's all it is. We have all these different views and opinions of what respect is, but it comes down to treating people how you want to be treated. Have any of you guys ever been treated poorly before? I have. I have. And it doesn't feel good. So therefore, if we know how it feels when someone doesn't treat us right, we can't be doing that to other people. We need to totally understand that it doesn't feel good, and we need to treat people appropriately, guys. That's what respect is about. The next word is trust. I tell people trust is like a thin plate of glass. Very fragile. Easy to break. Easy to shatter. Very hard to put back together. Trust is very fragile, guys. Again, have any of you guys ever had your trust broken? I have. And it hurts. It hurts. When I was in grade 9, I told the classmate a secret. We come back in from lunch playing outside, and all of a sudden 8 other classmates coming up to me talking about the secret. He broke my trust. And you know what? He never gained it back. It's hard. It's very fragile. When we're talking about healthy relationships, we need to be able to trust people, but people need to be able to trust us as well. So trust is very important. Moving down to the bottom, safe. That's a huge word. I've already talked about it a little bit. We all have the right to feel in a safe place, especially in our relationships. So we're going to talk about bullying. Bullying is repeated, unwanted, aggressive behavior. It often involves a power imbalance. You, what do you want to say? What's your name? Ashley? Ashley? Oh, I like that name, Ashley. Everybody take a good look at me, Ashley. Come on. Who thinks that we have the same amount of power? Okay, why? You raise your hand first. It's okay. I'll tell you guys, physically right now, I'm bigger, I'm stronger than Ashley. I know she's going to grow up to be bigger and stronger than me. I know it. But right now, I am bigger and I have more power. You can sit down. Thank you very much. But where we're equal, and we all need to realize this, because we are all equal, is we all have this superpower. What's this superpower, you might wonder? Well, it's our voice. And we need to learn how to use our superpower. Each and every one of us has it. We may have a difference in physical power, but we all have this power, which is our voice, because we are human. So, different types of bullying. There's verbal bullying. I think at this point, in the year 2020, we all have a pretty good understanding of what verbal bullying is. Would you guys agree? So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. How about physical? Much like verbal, I think we have a general understanding of physical bullying. Would you guys agree? Yeah, that's good to hear. Social bullying. Anybody have a guess as to what social bullying might be? Yeah. So sort of. He said turning friends against friends. Yeah, to a degree, for sure. How about you? Spreading rumors, gossiping. And now we're getting a little bit warmer. Before I did the training for the presentations, I thought social bullying was like texting and doing stuff online. But really, what social bullying is, it's excluding people. It's ignoring. It's spreading rumors. That's what social bullying is. Reflecting on my life, guys, I was a bit of a social bully. I was so passionate, especially when we would play sports outside. We would play sport like football and soccer, all those types of activities at lunch or at recess. And I was so concerned about winning that lunch hour game that we were playing that I wouldn't include people on my team. I wouldn't pick certain people because I didn't think they would help me win. And you know what? I hurt a lot of people's feelings because I did that. I wasn't including, and it comes down to a lack of respect for my classmates. Now, what's really funny about it is, you guys can probably agree with me. I don't remember the last time they handed out a gold medal for winning lunch hour soccer. You know, because it's not that important. You know, and I didn't realize that because I was so caught up in my selfishness that I hurt a lot of people's feelings. So we need to include people. And you know what? I realize how much it hurts because in my life, I haven't been included in every activity. And I know that it hurts when you feel left out. So we need to be mindful of that and include people. And then finally, cyberbullying. This one really gets my blood boiling because we'll all get into it in a minute. I want you guys to raise your hands. Who in here does not have one of these? Raise your hands. Who does not? So, in a room full of almost 300 people, there's maybe 15, 20 of you who don't. You can put your hands down, guys. So the reality is, we're all plugged in. We're all on social media. We're all texting. I know you guys are on your Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikToks, Twitter. I get it. I'm no different than you guys either. I'm no different. I'm on social media just like you guys. Maybe not as much, but I am. And the reality is, when we're talking about cyberbullying, what's the most frustrating to me, at least, is it's so easy to hurt someone. It's so easy to be mean or rude. Because I don't know if you guys have ever done it. All you got to do is type a sentence and hit send. It's so easy to write something mean and hit that send. Because we're not seeing how it affects the other person. You're not saying it to their face. It's so easy to say mean things and hide behind a screen because you're not seeing the impact that it can have. A little story about myself. Back about 7 years ago when I was playing with the Eskimos, maybe 6 years ago, we had lost a game that we probably should have won. And as I mentioned, I'm on social media and whatnot, so I go to check my Twitter after the game, get caught up on some news, and this random person starts tweeting the craziest things to me, talking about he wished my mom would die, he wished I would get hurt, like just the craziest stuff this random person was saying to me. I'm sitting there thinking, for one, why are you so worked up over a game? I'm the one who played the game. I never played to lose a game, but I realize it still is just a game. You shouldn't get that worked up to the point where you're cussing a person out, wishing death upon their parents. And the second thing that I'm thinking of is, man, you would never say these things to my face. In fact, it would probably be quite opposite. You would probably ask me for an autograph. But the fact is, when we're hiding behind a screen or a keyboard, it's so easy to say mean things because you don't realize how it can impact a person. Now, the last thing that's the funniest to me about the whole story is, and I have nothing against this, I'm just going to lead up that I have nothing against it, but I go and I look at his profile picture on Twitter, and it's him cuddling his two cats. I have nothing against it, but for a guy who has this really cute picture cuddling his two cats, he's talking pretty reckless to someone who's somewhat large in size. So it's so easy, and the thing is, anybody can say anything and not be accountable for what they say. We want to be accountable for our words because there is a media footprint. And everything that you type, everything that you say, it's out there. And once it's out there, people can see it and they can reach on to it and they can hold on to it. So we need to be wary, cognizant, and we got to be responsible ultimately for what we say. Participants in bullying. So, first point is we have the people who bully others. I mentioned how I was a bit of a social bully. Well, I'll take it a step further and get real with you guys. I was a bully growing up. I wasn't just a social bully. Normally when people do these presentations, they come at it from a standpoint where they were the victim of some bullying. Mine is different because I actually was that person. The way I would bully people is I was always bigger, I had confidence issues, wasn't overly happy with myself, always wanted to be popular and liked by everybody. So the way I would bully is I would tease people. And I would tease and tease and tease, and I hurt a lot of feelings with my teasing. Why I would tease is because when I had a group of people laughing at my dumb jokes, I thought it made them like me more. But it didn't make them like me anymore. They were just laughing at the dumb things I would say. We also need to understand with bullying, it's a learned behavior. Because we're not normally mean people by nature. We don't just wake up and want to be mean. We don't just wake up and want to inflict pain and make people hurt. That's not normal for us. So they've seen this type of behavior somewhere before. Now the beautiful thing about it is you can unlearn how to be a bully as well. Standing in front of you guys today, I would say I am everything but a bully. I've learned to change. I've learned to evolve. So you don't have to stay in the place you're at. The second point, people who are targeted by bullying. That's the person who's being affected. I only have one message for that person. If there's anybody in this room that feels like they're the victim of a situation like this, you really need to hold on to this message and grip it strongly and tightly. And that message is, it's not your fault. You did nothing wrong to deserve the treatment that you are facing. It is not your fault, and you need to truly believe it. That's not just words. You need to really believe that. And finally, the last point, people who are the bystanders, the witnesses. Well, who's the witnesses? You guys are the witnesses. Not your parents, not your teachers, not your principal, not a coach. You guys are the witnesses, the peers. I'm a stats guy. I like stats. 80% of the time, and 80, as we all know in school, you're getting 80s across the board with your grades. That's pretty good. That's pretty high. 80% of the time, bullying stops within 10 seconds or less when one of you guys gets involved, a peer. So you guys are the ones who are responsible for ending bullying. You might be thinking, how? How am I responsible? Well, you use your power. We all have this power, right? Which is our voice. We need to understand how to use our power appropriately. And we do that by speaking up and speaking out if we see something happening that we know shouldn't be happening. 80% within 10 seconds, guys, by using your power. We all have it. So we talked about teasing, and there is differences, as I mentioned, with teasing and bullying. Well, first of all, is the behavior going both ways? Are both people engaged? Are both people having a good time? It needs to be mutual. It can't just be one person cracking jokes on another. Secondly, is the behavior fun? Are both people enjoying it? Again, that kind of goes along the category with, is it going both ways? Has this happened before? It would be very inappropriate if I came into your school and started cracking jokes on you guys. We don't have an established relationship. This hasn't happened before. So there's got to be some sort of relationship established in order for both parties to be teasing each other. And then at the bottom, is there a power difference? And we're talking about that physical power difference. Because we all are equal, we all have this power. So when you see a power difference, think physical power difference. Conflict. Conflict is a disagreement or a difference of opinion between people or groups. I talked about the locker room and how much laughter and jokes there are in the locker room. Well, for all the laughter and all the joking that we do, there's just as much conflict that happens. There's just as much disagreements that happen, guys. A locker room is very similar to a school setting, except smaller, of course. We had 80 guys from all over Canada, all over the United States. I played with a player from Australia. 80 different guys in one room. And the reality is, I wasn't best friends with them all. There's some teammates that I didn't like at all. And I didn't have to like them. Very similar to school. I'm not up here saying you all need to be best friends. You don't. You don't all need to like everybody. You don't. But what you do have to do is respect each other. You have to have respect for everybody. Our job playing football is to win football games. And I'll tell you what, it'd be really hard to do our job if I didn't have that respect for my teammates. Your job right now, your football game in life, is to graduate, to advance to the next grade, to get through the school year, to get educated. That's your job. And I can promise you, your job will be much easier and much smoother if you go through a school year having respect for your classmates. It'll make your life so much more better. You guys will benefit so much more if you just go through with respect with one another, for one another. Respond, don't react. Any guys ever been told by your teacher or by a parent, either you got some extra homework or maybe you got some chores to do and you're not really feeling what they're telling you, so you just blurt something back, you back talk? You guys ever do that? I'm guilty of it. I know most of us probably are. That's called reacting. And we need to learn how to respond to situations instead of react to situations. And here's a couple of tools that we have coming up that will help you with that. To react means to act on impulse without taking the time to consider the situation. So when we're talking about respond, stop and breathe. Sorry, I'll be on the way. Stop and breathe. Think about what you want. Try to understand the other person. So when we talk about stop and breathe, don't just blurt out the first thing that comes to your mind. Think about what that person's asking. My dad used to make me always have to vacuum the house and do chores on Saturday before I could play. You know, and I thought it was punishment when I was younger. I'm like, why do I gotta do this? Well, now that I'm a man, I have my own family and my own house, I understand. It's to instill those characteristics and those values that you want to live in a clean house. And you don't want your house to be a dumpster. So I get it now, and I'm appreciative of that. Your teachers, you might question why they're giving you this extra homework. Well, they're not giving you extra homework to punish you guys. In fact, quite the opposite. They want the best for you guys. They're trying to nourish your brains. They're trying to help you guys get more educated. That's why you're getting the homework. But I get when you're a little younger, you don't see it that way. Unfortunately, it takes age and wisdom to look at life that way. But if you can really start trying at a younger age, guys, it will be much more fruitful for you. I can assure you of that. I'm going to quickly talk about the differences between conflict and bullying, because I talked about conflict and how it potentially can be a good thing. Well, up top, conflict can be positive or negative. The reason why conflict can be positive is because we're forced to come to some sort of resolution with the conflict. How do you do that? Well, you got to talk. you communicate. You talk about your feelings, you talk about your opinions, but you respectfully listen and try to understand another person's opinions or feelings towards something as well. That's why it's beneficial. In a bullying situation, it's always negative. The bully is just trying to inflict as much pain, as much harm. They're not trying to come to any type of resolution. Again, at the bottom, both parties work to solve the problem. You're trying to come to some sort of resolution. In a bullying situation, that's not the case. There is no problem solving happening there. Almost done here, guys. You guys have been really good. Different styles of communication. We have passive, that's someone who doesn't say what they think, want, or feel. They may be kind of afraid to speak up. Then we have passive aggressive, someone who doesn't say what they think, want, or feel in a straightforward way. Then we have aggressive, someone who says what they think, want, or feel in a way that violates a person's rights to be treated with respect. And then assertive communication, and that's someone who confidently and positively says what they think, want, and feel in a straightforward, non-threatening way. We want you guys to communicate assertively, meaning your yeses mean yes, your no's mean no. You're not rude. If someone asks you to do something, you don't respond aggressively. You don't respond passively by not even giving an answer. You tell a person straightforward how you feel, if you want to do it, why you don't want to do it. We want to be assertive with our communication. Different types of stress. There's your basic, there's cumulative, which is a buildup. Burnout is where you get to the point where you feel like you can't function. And then there's traumatic, which may be a result of an accident or something sudden, very tragic that happens. But there's different levels to stress. I just want you to think internally, just inside your minds, think about yourself. What are things that stress you out? But then what are some of the things that you do to help relieve that stress? To help yourself kind of escape the stress? I know for me, it was playing sports. When I was playing a 60-minute football game, my mind and my focus was on the game. I wasn't thinking about all the outside noise going on. And that was something that really helped me deal with some things. Other people may like to read. Other people may like to sleep. Some people may like video games. Just think to yourselves, what do you guys like to do to get away and to help fill up your bucket? So, we're almost done. Just got a couple questions for you guys. True or false? Bullying is just a natural part of growing up. If you get bullied, you should learn to deal with it. True or false? You can shout it. Well, it is false. And whoever said true, I hope that bullying is not a natural part of growing up for you, because the reality is it's not. It is not a natural part of growing up. And you shouldn't just learn to deal with it. True or false? In a bullying situation, assertive communication is not very useful. Responding with aggression or violence is a better response. Okay, why is it false? Yeah.
Because if you're being violent towards another person, like, what's your doing that? You're automatically switching.
Yeah, and that's close. I mean, that is right, but that's not what I'm looking for as to why it's false. Nope. I'll tell you why, and I'll be honest with you guys. I've done about 60 to 70 presentations over the past 3 years. I've had 4 people actually get this right. And the reason that it's false is because assertive communication is very useful. It is. Of course, we don't want to respond with aggression or violence, but we want to communicate assertively. We want to speak up. We want to use our power in a situation. And we need to be assertive with our style of communication in order to do so. True or false? Is it best to work through bullying situations on your own, since there is no way other people can understand what you're going through? False. Absolutely. You should never have to work through it on your own. We all should have a trusted person, a trusted adult, a trusted friend in our life that we can turn to and we can communicate with. Because again, life is all about relationships, guys. Like I was saying, we need people in our corner to support us. So what is your superpower? I got this little guy, he's in a cape and a mask, and he's a little superhero. Do you guys have any idea why? And I'm sure you celebrated your Pink Day 2 days ago. Do you guys know why we celebrate Pink Day? Well, tell me, I'm sure you guys do, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Back about 12 years ago, there was a boy who wore a pink shirt to school on the East Coast. He was bullied relentlessly because he wore this pink shirt. So bad to the point where he got picked up from school, never wanted to go back to school. It was quite a traumatic experience for him. So the next day, he ended up going to school, and there was an older boy at school who wore a pink shirt. Why he wore that is to show that boy who was bullied that he supports him, that he's there for him, that he understands what he went through, that he doesn't have to go through that alone. That's why he wore the pink shirt. When that older boy who wore the pink shirt to school that next day wore that shirt, I can promise you two things. The first thing, he wasn't trying to be a hero. He was just trying to show someone support, show someone that he was there for them. He was not trying to be a hero. I can guarantee you that. The second thing I can promise you is when he wore that shirt to school that next day, he didn't think in a million years that 12 years later, here we would be with a national day across Canada dedicated to wearing pink because of that action. So, my personal challenge to you guys is to be someone's hero. I'm not talking about put a cape and a mask on, jump off the school and try to save lives. That's not what I'm talking about. The reality is we don't know what being someone's hero may look like. We don't know. I'm not saying you need to dress the same as other people. I'm not saying you need to save lives. The smallest little action that we take can have the biggest impact on a person's life. But we don't know what it looks like. That boy wasn't trying to be a hero when he wore a pink shirt. But here he is, a hero. And there is a day across Canada. We're not just schools. People in business offices, people all over wear pink because of that action. So, be someone's hero, guys. It can look as simple as complimenting someone. It can look as simple as sharing with someone. It can look as simple as including someone that you don't normally include. I don't know what it can look like for you guys, but I'm putting a personal challenge out to be someone's hero. And not just on Pink Day, not just for the week. I want you to practice that every single day of your lives, to be someone's hero. We don't know what it can look like. We don't know how big of an impact we can truly have on someone's life until we try. So, that's the end of my presentation, guys. I'm sending you